So I'm approaching the end, but I'll take a minute here to show you a couple different things or ways to add on your found objects, those added material items that should be natural and organic looking, um, and add to the look of the basket, not take away from. So I have several things back in the back. One are these beads, and you could add those on by stitching through them like that. And you can wrap this around this way. And to tighten it up, you can even wrap it around like this. So you see it's kind of wrapped around there to secure it in one spot. And then you just keep going through the basket. One thing that you need to think about, though, is making sure that you do enough of them so it seems intentional. Putting two random beads on your basket somewhere isn't going to look nice. It's going to look like an afterthought and it's going to look kind of weird, but it doesn't make sense there. So things should be repetitive. These should go in organized rows or columns, just like we're doing our design. It doesn't do the look of your project any good to just randomly stick stuff on it. Okay, so that's one thing, one way you can incorporate your found object. Another thing that you can do is you could put some raffia in here. You could tie it in the back. You're not limited to these options either. These are just things I'm kind of showing you on the fly. You certainly could. And I'll put this with my yarn now. As I wrap this, I'm wrapping it with the gray. So it's showing up like that. So you could do some rows like that. And that would work for your added material. As you're working, I can work in between stitches here. Let me show you another thing. Trying to work backwards here a little bit. So I'll look maybe a little awkward, but that way you can see what I'm doing better. You can, in between stitches, so you can get around it with that. You could take this. This is raffia. It's a synthetic kind of craft material. But you could take stuff like this and tie it around your coiling fork. You could leave it out like this. And again, it's going to look best if you do it in rhythmic, repetitive areas. That could look really cool. You could figure out a way that you use the raffia like this and string a bead on it as well and leave those beads hang. Really, there aren't a ton of rules, except just make sure things make sense, and make sure you're really thinking it through so that things seem organized. Um, so you could do it just around one row. You could do it at the very top right before you're done. You could get all the way done, and provided your basket and stitches are tight enough, you could really model the Pomo Indian vibe and take feathers, which I have these as well. Unless you want to use your own, you can. And you can, in a pattern, put those in there. Something like this wouldn't survive, you using this on a daily basis to store stuff. But if this were a basket that you just intend to kind of keep on a shelf or something that's not really used or touched a bunch, then that looks really nice and that would work. This would, that's okay to do that too. Moving on, I will show you how to end the basket. So my last stitch is right there. the one thing you want to do is look at the rim of your basket before you finish. Because you started up in a spiral on this, there's going to be, when you get to the end, one side that's just a little bit taller than the other. So you should be aware of that so you can end the basket on the side that's shorter so that you even that rim up a little bit. So Lacey, I took yours a bit around. As you get there, you want to take that stitch, where is it? It's right there. Use the stitch there. And you want to end at a 45-degree angle. This type of 45-degree angle, you'll kind of clip off with the yarn. Go this way. You'll ramp right down that without a problem. As you get there, you're going to just stitch a bunch. So I'm going to put one stitch in here. Going. It doesn't matter if you want to do the stitch that's kind of that woven stitch that I showed you that it doesn't show up. You can do that, of course, but you don't have to. If you want to end the basket the way you've always been stitching, which is just kind of around the both of them all at once, that's totally fine, as long as it looks, nice-ish. So in the end, I am both wrapping and stitching each time. So it's going to secure that end there. Kind of that way, this way. We're getting there. We're getting there. This will take some finesse. You may or may not get it right the first time. All right. Now, at the very end, whoops. Hold on. Yeah. You're going to end this. And you're going to weave it all the way down. Now, I'm right here. So I'm going to show you. I'm here and I'm going to work my way down to the bottom of the basket. But I'm going this way. I am going to do that weaving stitch now because I don't want it to show up all the way through the basket. So I'm headed that way. I'm coming out of there. And then I'm going to go back and forth. I'm there. And then I go to the bottom or the row below it. Come out that way. And I would say, if you can, provided your design's not directly under where you ended, you could go back and forth and go down like 4 or 5 rows. So it's secure up there. Now this final row, I'm going to pull this through, but not all the way. I'm going to leave a little loop there. Okay, so see I'm leaving it loose. I'm going to come back around from the top part there. Yeah. And I'm going to loop it through that. And that's really all you need to do to secure that down. And I just pull that tight and you can trim that there and you're all set. Okay. Made it look easy. Again, you might fail at that a couple times. Just persevere. Keep patient with that. All right. Do you guys have any questions? Me.